Hey there guys, and welcome to a super exciting Krozzfyre casts. I am very happy to bring you this cast. Yes, once again it does feature CcArtS03. I really do think he's one of the top players at the moment. I think that he does stream, but he doesn't have many viewers. I believe he's Chinese, I'm not too sure, or Korean possibly. But amazing game just happened against HelpingHans. And it was so cool because I could have HelpingHans on one screen and I had CcArt on the other. But this was a great match. It was a really good match. I'm really excited to share it with you all. So let's get this shindig away. Obviously, I'm just showing you right here that floating tanks existed in World War II. Don't believe anyone who says they didn't. So let's introduce him properly. Then we've got CcArtS03. As I say, if you don't know who this guy is, I've cast quite a few of his games, and I know that quite a few people do want to cast his games as well, but this replay is hot off the press. This just happened, so like I say, this is how excited I am. And playing as the Soviets, excuse me very much, we have HelpingHans. So I'm gonna follow CcArt because this tactic, this strategy that he has, is quite unique in as much that you don't see any other players using it, and it's very good. I actually had the honor slash the shaming of going up against this strategy. That was the first time I ever played or heard CcArt before. I played him on this map, and he used the strategy against me, and I just got stumped. So I'm so happy that he did this exact same strategy against HelpingHans. Someone who's very good, very experienced, and you know this tactic works. So as you can see, pioneers everywhere. Pioneer, build another pioneer as well. So he's not built this tier 1 building. This obviously saves him on manpower, saves him on the initial fuel as well. But most importantly, most important thing to note is that units, their build time is dictated by their cost. So as pioneers are only 200 manpower, they're actually the fastest units to build. That means he can get more units on the field quicker than the Soviet player can. So even though the Soviet player, if he goes for a conscript spam, there's going to be more pioneers than conscripts, regardless. A squad size, squads that is anyway. And when you have two pioneers grouped up together, they will be able to push off one conscript squad. They will be able to push off one engineering squad as well. So generally, what we'll see is that two of them will go in one direction, two of them go in the other one. And then as soon as this one will have a bit of trouble now. He's just going to run around, probably get in a building, and then just waste this guy's time. Because that's what he's doing. He's just delaying. He's just delaying everything as much as he can until he can get to tier 2. Because tier 2 is where his main forces can come out. So 5th pioneer now coming out. Well, technically 4th. Obviously, start with a pioneer. You see no real engagements just yet, but he does have his fuel secured down here. And if we just take the fog of war off real quick, so we can see, yeah, Hans has his fuel secured as well. So, these pioneers going up against conscripts. Conscripts obviously just running into green cover. The green cover will make them more effective against those pioneers, and those pioneers will be forced to retreat. But here you see this one pioneer squad. He's just been running about. He only lost one member, and he's causing this conscript squad to waste time. Now we see that this guy has only lost one member, but here come the cavalry slash infantry, and just by sheer man numbers alone, they're able to force off that conscript squad very handily. And now they can go and cap up while he is not there. Meanwhile, this, like I say, this one pioneer squad, so all he did, he lost one member. Losing one member is not a big deal. It's only 25 to reinforce, so it is more expensive than a conscript, but it's, you know, the cheapest you're gonna get for the Ost tier. So you can see he's going for this cute little cutoff, but it doesn't quite work because the fuel is connected through the munitions and it comes through to this point down here. But we have a Molotov going off, so this is one of the ways you can try to counter it, but it's not very cost effective because he can just run away. He can just run straight away. There's another 6th pioneer out as well, by the way. So a very heavy pioneer start. Yeah. So as I was saying, one way to do it is to try and just out conscript spam him. But that's kind of playing into his game. If you get the same amount of conscripts as he gets pioneers, well, he's still beating you on manpower. Plus, he'll begin his tier 2 soon, which means that the Panzergrenadiers that come out, or any vehicle that come out, are really going to start doing some damage against the conscripts. The best thing to do, I believe, in my theory crafting, is to actually go tier 1 against this. The tier 1 will give you the mobility to actually try and beat the pioneers with the scout cars, but also give you the snipers, so when the Panzergrenadiers hit the field, you'll be able to bash them about. But okay, so one pioneer squad actually went down. So this guy up here just went down. So that's good for Hans, being able to take out one of these annoying little squads early. But there's still so many of them, and now he's got the flamethrower as well. He's got the bodies in front of him to soak up the damage, and this flamethrower will start up eating up. There you go, look. Nice crispy Russian on toast. How that one guy goes, this guy's going to be close to following behind as well. Or at least he's going to try and just move back so we can... Okay, so instead of retreating the squad, he's just moving him back so he can continue the fight or continue to cap. But, yeah, it was a good decap. Obviously on this map, this bottom cutoff point is hugely vital for the right-hand side player to maintain. But now we see that the tier 2 is going down. So tier 2 is going down as well as a bunker, so he's going to make this into a healing bunker. Because you can see all of his guys are very low. Obviously, pioneers have very low hit points, which means that they take damage quite easily, and they don't last very long at most stuff. So you can see the map control is in the hand of the Soviet player now, but because he's got tier 2, you can see he's going straight for a scout car. Now a scout car is going to be great. It's going to catch Hans off guard, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah, he hasn't got his 18 nades out yet. So since the scout car does come out, he's going to have a good presence. This guy, meanwhile, being annoying, just going and capping up the area, just decapping the stuff you don't want. Because, again, Hans is controlling this cutoff point, and now the income is really low for CcArtS. He's only got this 1 point. But he's going to wait for his guys to all heal up properly, so he's not going to be wasting manpower needlessly on just reinforcing crappy pioneers. So, smart play. Now the scout car is out. It's now been revealed. We'll see. I mean, this is smart, the scout car play, because this prohibits tier 1, the tier 1 counter to the Panzergrenadiers, because the scout cars, if you just went snipers early, the scout cars would be able to go and just go and clear them up. And as well, if you'd gone for scout cars, you can obviously upgrade one of them. He does get 2 out, note, and he's not gone for a half track at all either. So he's using his munitions in other areas. He didn't want to get the flamer half track without the flamer. Which is fair, which is reasonable. And pioneers don't have much staying force, so it's not as though he would be able to really support the half track efficiently. Now we see the scout cars skidding away and just breaking as much stuff as they can. And just to focus fire, yeah, these conscripts wouldn't be able to do anything there. Not too sure if he just used URR just quickly beforehand. Maybe he was his 18 nades. Yeah, his 18 nades are up now. Okay, so great mine there, look, from HelpingHans, which I remember now. This play is really awesome. So this guy is so close to death now. I mean, like a small amount of small arms fire will be able to take him out, but this unit comes in and effectively blocks off this conscript squad from charging in. So between the engineers and the vehicle, you actually block the conscripts from running in there. Gets the 18 nade off on this vehicle, so it is still firing at 100% efficiency. And you see the flamer engineers managed to come in, as well as the flamer pioneers come in. And this is where he got greedy. He really wanted to try and stick it out. He really wanted to try and get another 18 nade off, or just trying to finish off at least one of the cars, and loses the conscript squad for it. So that's fantastic play by CcArtS. Kind of overextending and a bit greedy from Hans there. I remember him saying he just got greedy. He really wanted to try and take one down. But now look, I mean, he's lost absolutely no manpower for this engagement, because all the damage he did receive is just easy enough to fix up. So like I say, it's really smart, and because he's got so many pioneers on the field, no matter where he goes, he's always going to have something to repair. Some place he can repair. And later in the game, then, you won't be sort of stuck for anything. He's like, oh, I've got these elephants that need repairing, and I can't do anything about it. Well, now he's got six pioneers. Well, he did lose one squad, but 6 pioneers on the field is a huge annoying capping presence, and efficient as well, very efficient. It's obviously very cheap to keep these guys going. We do see now the third unit that he's building, the third different unit. So it's going to be the Panzergrenadiers. The Panzergrenadiers is going to come out. They can provide a good amount of both anti-infantry and anti-tank, depending on which direction he wants to go with them. Scout cars moving up, should be able to push off this Maxim. Ooh, that's quite unfortunate. The Pioneer losing his flamer down there with a critical strike against him, which forces off the rest of the Pios, and the Scout cars back out as well. They don't want to get 18-aided and stuck in a little vortex of conscript fire. But you can see he's keeping 2 together. He's keeping 2 squads together, so that way, if they do encounter any trouble, they should be able to at least push off 1 squad of anything. Definitely not shock troops, probably not guards, but 1 squad of anything else. 2 of them together will win. So again, these pioneers keeping the territory battle going, making sure that he's decapping and being annoying as hell, because that's what you need to do with these pioneers. You can't just blob them all up and run them against an army, because they won't pay for themselves that way. The best way to do it is to just be annoying, look, just harassing this fuel. He's not going to be able to take it. Yeah, he just about gets in there to save his fuel, but it's irritating. It's making you focus on a point that is pretty much secure anyway. I mean, if you sent any unit there, it probably would have killed that one Pioneer Squad. The Pioneer Squad is going to go down. Yep, Pioneer Squad goes down there then. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. Still got loads. Oh, I missed this. Sorry, I missed this bit. There was a great play with the Panzergrenadiers. Panzergrenadiers actually came out, and I think he fell to a grenade from the Guard Squad. I totally missed that. I'm so sorry, you guys. I was too busy focusing on the Pioneers, chatting rubbish about his fuel, but that was a good play by Hans. Just take my word for that. Meanwhile, down here, again, just pressure on the cutoff points. So this Guard Squad was the one who took the... no, it wasn't that Guard Squad. I don't know. It is someone. But look, there's just so many Pioneers about. So many Pioneers about. Keep on capping up. Even though he's losing quite a few of them, it doesn't matter. He's doing a good job of being everywhere on the map and having some sort of presence as well. Because the scout cars are obviously doing a fair amount of damage. They're not killing a lot, but they're doing a fair amount of damage every time. And as soon as they hit Veterancy 2, that's when they become a bit of a bother. A real bit of trouble. 2 Guard Squads against these scout cars, though, that won't be too favourable. This one might go down. Yeah, this one goes down to the anti-tank rifles then of the Guards, and he's inevitably going to force off these Pioneers as well. We do see a mortar half-track coming out now as well from CcArtS. So we can see that he's gone for the Tiger Doctrine with the smoke and the fragmentation bomb, as well as the mortar. Now this mortar is cool. It's very mobile, very good. Unfortunately, these guys are able to take his cutoff once again, so his income is reduced to jack shit for a small period of time. Playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse with these guards. The guards are going to be pushed off though with the Panzergrenadiers coming in. And happy days. Okay, so we can see that this isn't a fuel-intensive build. And the reason for that is because he's only got he only went for the 2 scout cars. They're very cheap. He hasn't gone for tier 1. He hasn't built tier 3 or tier 4. He isn't upgrading for those either. Because what he will be doing is just going for Tigers. So I've spoiled the mystery there for you a little bit. But this is just a very interesting tactic. It's a very different tactic. You don't see this every day. You don't play against this at level 1 and level 100. This is only the higher tier play. You see it. So it's good because it engages the thought process of how do I beat it? What do I do to counter this? And it's very difficult. Like I say, I mean, I played against CcArtS twice. Twice he used the same strategy. One time I just tried out conscripting him. The other time I went tier 2. Neither time really worked that well for me. But he is a better player than me. There's no two ways about that. Anyway, he's able to get his cutoff back again now. He's not putting any pressure on up top for just the moment. He's trying to focus on defending his turf that he does have. And he's floating a bit of manpower now, so he's got the option of going for another Panzergrenadier squad. There you go. As soon as I said that, look, he goes for another Panzergrenadier squad. Let's take a little look at HelpingHans and see how his army's coming along. So he's gone for 2 guards, which is very helpful against light vehicles. So any of those light vehicles he encounters, he should be able to deal with the guards. He's gone for hit the dirt as well, so he's going to be able to get the PPSHs. Now, yeah, he's got PPSHs on both of his conscript squads. I do believe he lost 1 conscript squad. And obviously his flamer, he lost his... No, he didn't get a flamer with his engineers. Excuse me, but you can see he went tier 2 and he's got an MG coming out now as well. So obviously he wants to try and contain some of the free roaming that all of the Pioneers enjoy. And it was kind of my thinking as well to try and go MGs, but the trouble is with Maxims they have such a narrow cone of fire that it is actually difficult, especially when there's like 2 or 3 squads. It's very difficult to prevent the flank. But it looks like these Pioneers are running in heedlessly against a force they definitely won't win against. There you go, you recognise it, gets out. Ooh! See this motor half track? It's very nimble, very manoeuvrable, and does do a great amount of damage as well. So, where are we in the game? And you see the victory points are kind of they've been in Hans' favour for the majority of the game, but they're starting to slip a little bit now. So, he is in a slight comfortable lead. Hans is, that is, or the austere player, depending on how you prefer them to be announced. But it's one apiece. No, sorry, 2-1 now actually for Hans still. So he still has the bleed on against CcArtS. These Panzer Grenadiers are going to enjoy green cover against the 2 guard squads, but the 2 guard squads are just too many numbers, especially with the threat of grenades coming in. Does get a good grenade off of his own, and it does half damage look to the guard squad. So he's going to be punishing Hans if he doesn't have his medic bunker up. If he does have his medic bunker up, then it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, at least he forced the unit off, you know, causing the unit to be off the field and not participating in any battle or capping is always beneficial for you. So, some vetted pioneers against some unvetted engineers. This should result in the pioneers winning quite capably because they do have significantly increased armor and field first aid. Okay, vet 3 to get their accuracy up, but that toughness will allow them to encounter most. Again, if he goes up a conscript squad with that 1 pioneer, he'd probably lose unless he's been in green cover and the conscripts are in red cover, but then that's silly of Hans, and I very much doubt that Hans will be doing stupid plays like that. So we see he's now actually got a pack gun out now as well from his tier 2 building. So again, it's the only building he's built, and the pack gun is going to offer him a bit of security against any vehicles that he does come across. So if he has a T-70 rush coming his way, or if he has well, any vehicle essentially, that pack gun is going to be vital in terms of controlling it and being able to get rid of it. Now their mine went off somewhere. Mine went off down here, look, against these guys. So it's a well-placed mine again around here, and it's something very interesting that, well, it's a very, very accurate point that Stephen JF made on his stream earlier on today, saying that very few people actually get minesweepers, and it's true. You see, there's not many people getting minesweepers these days. So start thinking about that when you're thinking about regal mines, if you're thinking about anti-personnel mines, that kind of stuff. But because this guy didn't die from the mines, he's just going to cap up with him in the meantime, because he may as well. He's going to be able to retreat straight away if he does encounter any trouble. So that's smart to keep him in the field and active. He's going to try and use this building. Yep, good again by CcArtS. He's recognized that there's an MG right here, so he's using this building to block the line of sight so that he doesn't have to worry about it. But as soon as he is open fire on by it, he just chose to go on straight up and out of there. Unfortunately, this Pioneer squad, which I said would definitely get out of there, might not. Nope, he definitely does. I sort of, as soon as I said that, I thought he was gone a bit. He managed to leg it out of there. Good job, you, Pio. And the Panzer Grenadiers are able to do a good amount of damage against the engineers there. So again, I mean, map control has majoritively been in Hans's control, especially as he's been able to come and play with the cutoff as much as he wants. So one of the scout cars went down. I neglected to mention that, I'm afraid, but he has upgraded this one other scout car, so at least he's got some form of AT. I'd throw a nice bundle nade in here if I were CcArtS, but no, he doesn't have the munitions, and he instead receives a good Molotov, which he proceeds to stand in for far too long. There you go, he is going to get out there. And again, harassing the cutoff point. So it's good by Hans. He's up in victory points. He's harassing his income, and he's neglecting any losses that he takes, because if he just takes his cutoff for a small period of time, suddenly the income for CcArtS is severely reduced. I mean massively reduced. So any losses he does take whilst doing this kind of pay for themselves in the long run. So he's got a nice little combined force. This is very anti-infantry force up there to pair together. More pioneers dotted about the field, and obviously healing up orders or keeping his vehicle in tip-top condition. So he's floating quite a lot now. This is the point where you look at the field and you think, this is your do or die moment. You know, you either go, right, I need to get some P4s out, or I need to get some vehicle, like some sort of medium tanks out, and you bite the bullet and you go for it. Or this is the point where you sort of go, I do need one bit more CP, and I will need to save up for the rest of it, but I can get a Tiger out, you know. And by doing that way, obviously he's saving himself on the fuel costs of upgrading and the fuel cost of building itself, let alone the wait time as well, the actual build time for the vehicles. As soon as he presses the button, he just can get a Tiger straight away. So all those advantages and disadvantages, you kind of need to weigh up, and only you can really sort of judge it. So it's been revealed now. Hans has revealed his Su-85, which means that the pack gun is going to come in incredibly handy. And yeah, obviously, I've kind of dropped the ball already, saying that the CcArtS is going to be getting out some Tigers. So that's what we know is going to come up against this Su-85. But like I say, I mean, with an Su-85, you can play coolly. You don't have a great amount of vehicles on the field anyway, and they are much more mobile than the Su-85. So you should be free from, or you should be able to evade most of the damage from him. Pioneer squad going very low before he guns out, as with this Panzergrenadier squad, just about getting out though. But as I was saying, the S85 doesn't do a huge amount of damage against infantry. It does get some nice shots off every now and then where it takes out 2 members from the squad or 3 members, and it can run you over as well. But I mean, you shouldn't feel too threatened by the S85. It'd be a lot more threatening if it was a T-34 or a T-70. Because none of his Panzergrenadiers have Shreks, and he does not have the opportunity to get Shreks as well. So, incoming Katyushas. So Katyusha's now been revealed as well. So you can see, again, at this point, when you sort of look at your fuel, you think, well, I've got all this fuel banked, and he's got 2 vehicles out already. But yeah, okay, he's going to stick on out and get the Tiger out. And he's doing alright in terms of map control as well. I mean, he is under a bit of pressure. But he's keeping it up by going top and bottom at the same time. Panzergrenadiers getting a grenade off in there, but not doing a huge amount of damage. Scout car still about, obviously they've got a scout car, and they might actually take out this guard squad actually. The guard squad disadvantage too as he's running out though, so no, it does go down to the combined fire of all his forces. And you can see the S-85 is still trying to bother these pioneers. And after, like, you know, 2 minutes of shooting them, I think he gets 1 kill, 2 kills maybe. But the guards in this building are doing a great job against the Panzergrenadiers. Panzergrenadiers should just come back up into cover. That way you're sort of neglecting some of the received damage. See another good bomb grenade off, but because you're such low health, that's when your guys start getting crits, or being critical against, should I say. As soon as that happens, you're in trouble, because obviously his squad went from 3 to 1 in 0.5 seconds. But you see, as a mine has been revealed down here now. I'm not too sure if it finished or not. I think it just about didn't finish. But he could have just attacked ground here. I think he is doing that anyway. If he attacks ground there with his pack gun, he'll blow up the mines. Might get a lucky shot off on the side. No, he doesn't quite get the shot off on the S-85, but it's no problem. It's no problem. And like I say, he's gone and harassed Hans' field now, so it's good that he's still got his eye on the ball and still trying to be as annoying as possible with his pioneers, which has been reduced to 3. So he has lost 4 pioneer squads. So what, you know, they're only pioneer squads, and he's not going to need to replace them at any point because he's still got 3, and which is a good enough number to go and reinforce any down crew weapons or to go and repair his vehicles. Cheeky PTRS rifle hidden in here. Sometimes it's really frustrating when you get this, when you can't actually sort of quite select the unit properly, or select the weapon properly, but I'll have a little play around. You can normally sort of use your alt view, and you can normally find a better view to click it and pick it up. That applies for both support weapons and for dropped weapons as well. That's something for you guys to take home with you and, you know, write down your little journal to say, today I learned this. Maybe not that far, but Panzergrenadier push coming up top. They're going to try and secure the victory point as well as harass that fuel again. They're going to encounter these conscripts who I'm assuming are going to hit the dirt. This is, by the way, these are some of the last replays I'm doing before the patch goes live. For those of you who aren't aware of this patch is addressing several things such as the strafe, the hit the dirt, it's changing the accuracy of some vehicles, and there's a couple of other things in there as well. I might do just a cast on the update, but on the patch, sorry, but I'll just leave that for another time. And keep on this cast because these conscripts are going to try and recover this PTRS rifle, which they do. So he's going to be pleased with that he's got his own munitions back. Yeah, that mortar half track, it doesn't have very much health whatsoever. So, you know, a strong breeze will blow it over. This pack gun is unfortunately a little bit out of position because there's no vehicles around here. The S-85 is a real to be here. We should be hearing more Katyushas coming in. Okay, this is the howitzer then that HelpingHans has built. So let's take the fog of war off real quick just so I can show you. So he's got his Katyushas and he's got his artillery piece there. Again, they're both revealed, so CcArtS knows that they're both there. And it's not excellent choices, I feel, from Hans, because he's going up against a very mobile force. Having artillery, it's risky, you know. I mean, is your opponent going to stay in one position long enough for that to really be effective? I'm not too sure. But there we are. That's HelpingHans' choice. Panzergrenadiers push off one of the flame troops. He's going to turn now as well and push off the other flame troop as well. An excellent little point, which I will raise now simply because I might miss it later on. Flamers need to be stationary to fire, and they only have quite a short range, so obviously this is kind of like their range. So if you just if you have 2 squads, you can just kite the one pioneer squad by keeping continuously moving back. Is he going to lose if you have 2 guys? Oh man, he's I was about to say. You know, once is enough, twice is cheeky. What's the expression? Fool me once, fool me twice, that kind of thing. Anyway, what I was saying about the flamers, if you have 1 squad just to kite away, so the flamers just chase. Oh! Did he blow up his own mine? I think he might have blown up his own mine there, as well as a mortar strike and a pack shot or something, because that squad just died brutally. Meanwhile, we see the Katyusha's going down on the Panzer Grenadiers up top. Panzer Grenadiers have got veterancy 2, so they will be able to take the brunt of the damage. But there's only 2 guys left in this. We'll need to get those guys out as soon as he caps up that point. And you can see the map advantage is now definitely in the hands of CcArtS. He's got 2 points. He's put the fleet onto HelpingHans. And now we're going to have to sort of see the reactionary period where when he reveals this bad boy. Hello, sexy. Come on. Perf me, tiger. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah. Yeah. Now, what am I doing? I'm trying to do the automatic camera follow thing, but there's a tiger. You'll see more. If you haven't seen a tiger yet, then you haven't been playing long enough. But an S85 is based around here, so he knows that the tiger is now been revealed. So now Hans is aware that there's a tiger on the pitch, or the field, depending on how you like to pronounce that. But it's going to be a triple cap very shortly. These pioneers are going to be able to, with the aid of the S85, just blowing stuff up around them, be able to cap this. But in comes a good Katyusha barrage. But CcArtS going to be able to leg it on out of there, only suffering 25 manpower for this trouble. You'd be pleased with that. This AT gun is dangerously low. I'd like to see him try and just repair that up before sending it out in such a forward position, simply because it's very easy to steal. When there's only 1 guy, well, technically there's 2 guys on there, but as soon as 1 guy goes down, there's 1 guy left, he just automatically runs off. So it's not the fact that he wouldn't be that effective. It's just the risk of losing it is more than him dying, if you see what I mean. But he's got a nice little overlay field of fire, so he's if the S85 pops out on the other side of this building, he should be able to take a couple of pot shots at it. Panzer Grenadiers is going to come on down here and have a little look at what's going on with the munitions point, as the mortar continues to fire some shells down it. Like I say, only 8 kills. He does have veterancy 1 now, which does give him the counter barrage ability. But it's a very cheap unit. Okay, another Katyusha's coming in on these Panzer Grenadiers. Obviously, Katyusha barrages are free, and it's a relatively cheap unit. I want to say relatively cheap unit. It isn't super cheap. But here's the issue: like the black gun goes down there, the guards are able to get off a grenade against the MG, but the MG should go down soon. You look at the health in this building, you look at the state on it; it's going to collapse soon. That is not a building that you'd want to call home. So as soon as that goes down, this AT gun then suddenly is up for grabs for HelpingHans, and I'm sure he will grab it. Grab it he will, as he'll obviously want some help against the tiger. And here comes the howitzer coming in around this area as well now. So the mortar is playing a dangerous game. This is getting close to the barrage, but no, he effectively moves everything out of the way. He's able to recover the MG. Yeah, well, he recovered the Maxim anyway, so I don't know whether we saw it. This sniper, yeah, sniper had to get out of there. He's in a poor position. A decent grenade coming off from the guards, but the guards are going to have to go out of there. Meanwhile, the barrage is still going in. S85 is going to take some pot shots, probably across at this tiger. We're going to see a little small micro battle shortly. He doesn't quite want to run in there because he's not too sure if Hans has a pack himself, and he doesn't want to keep chasing after an S85 because an S85 can just retreat straight back and continuously fire at you without missing really. He's just firing in a straight line straight in front of him, but meanwhile the tiger is chasing after him and just eating shots after shots after shots. But these flamer engineers, the flamer, okay, they're probably dead. I imagine he's dead. Yep. So he gets exploded by his own flamer, and then everything else goes down, which means that Hans has lost quite a few units now at this point. Now he's not in a great point. I remember on the stream he sort of reiterated that he's not happy. I think that's the nicest way of saying it. But off he goes with the Panzer Grenadier. Panzer Grenadier is going to live to fight another day, whilst this Panzer Grenadier squad is going to be able to come and push off the flamer engineers and take this victory point to make it Well, it's actually currently even. 1-1-0, I guess is the first way of saying it, but he's going to be able to turn that tide as soon as he moves on up there. And again, he's just focused on the same units. He hasn't had a huge variety of units. Let's face it, he's built Pioneers, he's built Panzergrenadiers, Scout Cars, Pack Guns, and now he's calling in Tigers. So 5 units is that. Well, the more to call in as well, I guess. But he's keeping his overheads very low by not teching up and by not building buildings. So this obviously offers him more options in terms of what he wants to get later on, or less options but more resources. But because he's picked his commander accurately, which gives him these 2 nice vehicle call-ins. Another good Katyusha's coming in. This Pack-gun probably goes down here. Yeah, Pack-gun goes down. Pioneers, well, this Pioneer definitely needs to get out. Now he's got 2 down Pack Guns. Now he's got no Pack Guns against the S-85. So all he's relying on is on the Tiger. And obviously, the more the Tiger takes damage, then the thing is, but here comes a very amazing flank actually coming out from the the up gun, should I say, Scout Car, and he's going to be able to just come in here, harass this this little guy a little briefly, but he's chasing after this high value target, which is the Katyushas. And his weapon will absolutely tear through the light armor, as you see right there. 1 barrage and out of control. Veterancy 3 now for that Scout Car. It's going to go down to the S-85. It doesn't matter. He very easily paid for himself here just by taking out that guy alone, let alone everything else. Tiger is now down quite low on health. He was eating some shots from the S-85 on that nice little flank, little side flank. He's going to need a couple more. He's going to keep on retreating this back. But as you can see, he's banked a lot. And he doesn't need much, or he doesn't need anything actually called in his next Tiger. So if he was on the ball, he'd call in this Tiger right now. But he's not quite on the ball. But he will be calling another Tiger. Don't worry about that. And he's just sort of chasing after the Tiger with his Pioneers, trying to catch up to it to repair it. He's got nothing to prevent it coming in apart from the next Tiger. So he gets it all the way back here. Look, you know, you think one more shot is going to go down, but no, he gets a bouncer shot and she's further on back, and here comes another Tiger, just full health, just out of nowhere. Like, hey mate, why don't you pick up someone your own size? And now he can just chase this S-85 as much as he wants. He can win this battle, like this sort of reversing battle, but it's just not very favourable to do it, because if he used microing a little bit better, he'd be able to get a couple more shots off. Eventually 2 now as well, so now it's actually a decent threat against the Tiger. Remember, the S-85 has a longer range against Tigers as well, so that's why he doesn't want to be up close and personal. He wants to be at range in order to, you know, like a tall kid picking on a small kid, like holding his forehead. Do that. But because he was chasing, because he really wanted to get his Tiger in this, I mean, I think it's fair to say that 90% of people 99% of people would have chased that Tiger down to try and get the Tiger. You know, so you can't really judge him on doing that. It seemed like a sound investment to do at the time. And again, he tried to save his S-85. He could have just gone in to deal the final blow, but it's difficult. It's difficult to make decision calls like that. I think Hans did the right thing to try and get the S-85 out and save it, but there we go. You know, spur of the moment, and it wasn't the right call. There you go. So the Panzergrenadiers are going to hit a bit of a brick wall against this hit the dirt vet 3 conscripts. Meanwhile, this Tiger has found another juicy target in this howitzer, which, bless him, has only got 3 kills. He does get buttons here, which obviously inhibits him from doing anything, but rightly so, he pops the smoke, because if you guys didn't know, smoke breaks the suppression from the, or breaks the button, should I say. That tip came from a very helpful commenter, I believe, or someone on forums. I'm not too sure who told me that, but I should have really figured out your name and been like, oh yeah, shout out to you, but you know who you are if you're watching. But back to the action at hand. CcArtS is actually cut off from all of his points at the moment. He's got 0 in terms of his income. But he should be able to quite quickly be able to rectify that, and he's obviously done great in taking down the Katyushas, the S-85, and the howitzers. Now he's now it's 2 Tigers versus, I believe, is it 2 S-85s? No, 1 S-85 for the moment. There is going to be another S-85 coming, because that's what you got to do as Russians. I mean, tier 3 would have been okay if you could just go and ram these Tigers and had a pack gun behind it to just finish them off. But unfortunately, when you're in tier 4, it's very difficult then to sort of say, I'm not going to get an S-85, I'm just going to back tech to tier 3 and, you know, sit on more fuel, like trying to wait with more fuel to try and get the right thing out. It's very difficult to make the right timing for it as well, because you'll find as soon as you start building it, well, that's when the rush comes in, and then you're like, oh shit. Always happens, always happens. Panzergrenadier is going to have a great little flank on this Vet 3 conscript with PPSHs, even though they hit the dirt. A bundle nade there would have gone quite well. There it goes, and boom. Nice, decent damage. He is going to survive, he is going to get out of there, but it forces him off. So he's not able to just come in and merge squads with that guy, which would have been beneficial because you'd have kept that Vet 3 out. But in terms of VPs, we do see now that CcArtS is actually in the lead. So it was 2-1, it's about to be neutral and then go back to 2-1 in terms of for HelpingHans. But like I say, he's actually in the lead at the moment, so he's come from like a 200 point down disadvantage, I believe it was. But he's still sticking with the same base unit, so he's obviously got 4 Panzergrenadiers out. He's using Panzergrenadiers to replace the Pioneers as a strong capping force and a anti-infantry deterrent. No Shreks, you'll notice. No Shreks at all on any of his Panzergrenadiers. Why? Well, obviously he's using his munitions in other places, or he's attempting to use his munitions in other places. Or he just wants to save them in general. I mean, obviously we've seen a few flamers, excuse me, a few flamers on his Pioneers. He's got the upgrade on this Tiger as well down here. But he hasn't had a huge, munitions advantage really. This point has generally been in the hands of HelpingHans, and just laugh at my own joke. And as is this one, or this one has been harassed at least via the cutoff. So. Even though he has got a decent bank of 200 munitions, so he can call in his fragmentation bombs if he wishes, he hasn't been using it very sparingly, just in bundle nades and things like that, really. So the pack gun was in slight danger of going down. You can see the Panzergrenadiers have taken no. Okay, so just said that it's taken no damage apart from that one guy. Now that other guy as well. Now it's a really good time to get out. There he goes. He's obviously just wanted to leave it in there as long as possible to just try and see if he could cap it up, but it was a bit ambitious. So, Tiger number 1 is out in the field, and Tiger number 2... No, yeah. So Tiger number 2 and Tiger number 1. Tiger number 1 got repaired, I think. I'm not too sure. But both Tigers are still there. So it's Tiger on S85 on S85. Who do you think wins? Well, interestingly enough, you can see these S85 shots just are not penetrating the frontal armor of the Tiger whatsoever. So even though there's about 4 or 5 shots there, none of them penetrated. So if you all think, oh, Tigers suck, Tigers are useless, or if you think that S85s are OP, there's proof in your pudding. Look, again, another shot, no damage at all on the Tiger. So there you go. You know that Tigers are good against S85s. That is a myth confirmed, or myth busted, I don't know, whichever way possibly we want to go around. But we see more a Panzer coming out for now for the Panzergrenadiers, which again is going to be great against the S85s. And we also see more Panzergrenadiers coming to the fore as well. Capping, again, being annoying, capping up all the fuel points, not keeping his army just bunched up, but keeping enough of them together in order to be efficient. So, here comes a decisive play which I felt could have ended the game if CcArtS controlled this a little better. So he's got the 2 Tigers now, and he's going to charge on in, but unfortunately I feel that his focus fire is a little bit off. He takes down the OP point straight away, followed by the AT gun, so that's some good damage that he's done. There's 2 S85s, he knows there's 2 S85s, so one of them retreated down there, you can just caught the end of it, and he's going to chase this one into the base. Fine. You generally sort of see that you chase down the 2 S85s. It's the first priority that you do, making sure that you focus fire them down, because as soon as they're down, there's nothing against you. You know, there's nothing that can hurt those Tigers. Those Tigers can sit at the base. But unfortunately, or I don't know whether he planned to do this. This is more of a distraction what he's going on right here. Because if you look at the rest of the map, he's using this time just to go around and cap everything up with his infantry. So he's just leaving these guys in here to be, you know, no pun on the name, but they're just going to be tanks. They're just going to be in here to take up as much damage, just to take up as much time of as many of Hans' troops, because you battlefield threaten. You know, you got 2 bastard Tigers near your base. You can see the S85 using good range, using his range, and obviously the sight as well, the cone sight, to evade the Tiger's shots. So very well played and very frustrating as well. So you thought, like, if he played this out right, he might have been able to take it down, but he does have these Panzergrenadiers down here. I think he starts sitting... No, sorry, these Panzergrenadiers here, sorry, in the flank. These Panzergrenadiers are going to come down here and try and push them off. And again, Tigers are just sitting in here, not focus firing, and taking... Well, eventually they're going to go down. That's the lion's share of it. But it looks like, at this point, you think, if you've got this in your base, you just go, shit, son, this is... there's no way back from this. And also, when you triple cap, you've got 100 points left. That's never fun either. So rightly so, Hans manages to get out this, get out his scout car. He's going to send it out to cap up one VPs. Like I say, this is just kind of careless play now. He's just leaving these guys in here and hoping that they'll just sort of kill everything automatically. Rightly so. In the meantime, whilst Hans has been effectively pinned, his base, he caps up the entire of the map. Here comes this other Su-85 now. So the other Su-85 is still alive down. No, the other Su-5 did go down, excuse me. But this fresh one comes on the field now, so this one Tiger is toast now that he's receiving fire from both ends. He's getting spit roasted by Su-85s, so he will go down. There he goes. Oh well, pretty much down. Which leaves one Tiger against two Su-85s, which is not the battle that he wants to be in. You can see he's tried to claw back on the VPs. He's managed to decap one and cap it on his own terms. But he's still dangerously low on 63 points. This Tiger is just sitting in the base, look, and he's not doing anything with him. He could be targeting the Su-85 or the other Su-85. He isn't. He's just firing at the base needlessly. But like I say, he's just spending time, wasting time as well. And in that duration, he now has enough for another Tiger. Again, I'm not too sure if he realizes he has enough for a Tiger straight away. But that means that those two damaged Su-85s now have no real chance against one fully repaired Tiger. So if he sees like this is my only gripe about CcArtS here. This is the only improvement that I could ever possibly offer someone of his level. And it's that just to sort of seize the moment, you know. Those Tigers could have been more effective. This Tiger could have come out faster, and the Su-85s wouldn't have as much time to repair up and things like that. You know, if you see the end of sight, then take it. You know, don't sort of don't let up for a second ever. That's my Coach Carter advice. That. So I'm just gonna have like a group of like school kids being like, "Oh man, you're the best teacher in the world." Really? School kids here? What? But the VPs are very low now, so CcArtS is quite comfortable with his leads. It's not super comfortable, but because he has so much map control, you know, even though he's cut off technically, he's actually able to come through all the way around right here. So those points are actually still connected until now he's actually decapped that point. But that just goes to show you the extent of his map control. And CcArtS is going to be able to come out now and just hold down 2 points. That's all you need to do. Let's take the Fog of War off real quick. So you can see that Hans is able to staple the bleed and turn the tide back on the CcArtS briefly, but he's got no forces to be able to defend that area. He's going to try and send as much units as he can to the middle, because if he's at the middle, he can come back and help down here and then come back up here again if needs be. But as we can see, the Panzer Grenadier is going to be way too much for those conscripts. Flamer Engineer is going to roll on in, and he's just going to send his Tiger down here just to sit in the point for a while, because it's scary, man. It's scary to go and cap the point and there's a Tiger sitting on it. Don't care who you are. Don't care who you are. It sucks. So these Pioneers are having a bit of trouble against the Flamer. Pioneers are having trouble against the Flamer Engineers, but the Flamer Engineers should just be focusing on this point here. It's that desperation time. They're pushing off this one Pioneer, or even kill this one Pioneer squad. Effectively isn't going to really win or lose the game, but your VPs are. Your VPs definitely are. You don't want to be just losing troops for the sake of losing troops to cap the VP, but, you know, it's make or break time. We can see that CcArtS has been able to cap the bottom one and now decap the middle one. And he's going to stick at this useless, so he's going to stick at this disadvantageous engagement then for as long as he can, because Pioneers, again, doesn't matter if he loses Pioneers that much, and as soon as they retreat off that, the point will start to decap again. But he's just putting good amount of pressure on Hans. I mean, he's just having, he's got the right logistics, if you will, at the moment. Whilst Hans has to keep his force back here, he's keeping his force on the point. and he's unable to just charge in and just to knock him off this point. Again, there's no one defending the bottom VP, but it's difficult. Obviously, it's difficult because these guys are here. And I'm sure he's going to send his concentrate right there. But there's only 20 points left on the clock. HelpingHans, who was the finalist in the recent ESL tournament, so technically ranked number 2 in the game. Very technically, don't actually sort of quote me on that. Is in a very sticky wicket, down 15 points. We see a bundle nade coming off from these the dying wish there from the Panzer Grenadiers. They weren't going to go down without a fight and be able to take down the scout car with a bundle grenade. And if you look at CcArt's forces now this is his almost desperation attempt at the clutch of victory. If he for some reason is unable to hold down these points for as long as necessary, for example, if this guy went down a little bit quicker and then this point went into HelpingHans' hands, then it wouldn't be a good game right now, but it is. That is how it all went down. This happened, guys. This happened, and Pio-spam strats work. Mark my words. Especially with this upcoming patch, you will see a lot more of it, I can guarantee you. And hopefully with this replay as well, which will go viral, make me millions and millions and millions of pence, and then I'll be able to just be able to do this full time, right? Right. Alright, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you CcArtS03 for uploading this replay, and thank you HelpingHans for being a good sport. I have been Krozzfyre. This has been a cast, and I'll see you all guys next time. Take care.